I get it because I used to be insecure. And I'm not perfectly secure now. I don't think anybody is. But I am a men's coach that deals in confidence because I am confident. I am teaching something that I've done, right? I'm teaching something that I have qualification to teach about because I've done the thing. I've got experience with the thing. I've been insecure before, so I understand why they tell you to not fall for the comparison trap. This is another Christianese, churchianity little bit of nice sounding nonsense that will keep you weak if you let it. It's not just unbiblical, it's anti-biblical. People who don't like comparison are insecure. Whenever you see somebody encouraging you to avoid comparison, can you guys hear the rain? Get a little afternoon rain here for the vibe. When you hear somebody advising against comparison, they may as well be raising their hand and saying, "I'm insecure, and I think everybody else is like me because I've been insecure for so long that I don't understand what it's like to not be insecure. So I'm just going to project my insecurity onto you and say, guys, my insecurity flares up when I compare myself to others, so you guys be sure not to do that." That's all it is, guys. Whenever someone tells you, avoid the comparison trap, it's a trap. Hopefully you guys get the reference. It's a trap. If someone tells you that, they may as well be raising their hand and saying, I'm insecure and I don't know how to cope. And it's not that they know that they're insecure. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But usually it's guys who are not self-aware and they're not realizing what they're saying. Guys, comparison isn't just a neutral thing. It isn't just a good thing. It's a necessary thing. All right? This is me being a little bit of a dictionary right now. But, I mean, let's round up to like approximately correct, okay? What is comparison? Comparison is looking at least two different things, two or more different things, and assessing what the differences are. That's comparison, right? It's not a bad thing. You mean, like, we have to compare things to drive, to live, okay? Like, when I'm driving, I have to compare the distances between the cars, my speed to the speed limit. I have to compare things all the time. When we're in the workplace, we have to compare things. When you're playing a sports game, that came out funny. When you're playing sports, you have to compare things, distances, speeds, right? All these kinds of things. And yet, you mean to tell me that we're not supposed to compare where we're at to where someone else is at? Right? Like, if I'm competing with you in a sport and we're like jostling for position to like catch a ball or to, do something in a sport, whatever sport it is, maybe we're opposing each other in tennis, right? I have to compare myself to where you're at. If you're ahead of me in points, I have to compare my points to yours to figure out how much more I have to go to win, to catch you, right? But then you mean to tell me that after the game is over, oh, don't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. Again, it's insecurity. Because let me explain to you how comparison works. For most people, this is how I used to be. Most of y'all watching this is how you are too, okay? Don't think, oh, I'm the exception because I'm a deep thinker and cerebral. No, you're probably most people, bro, okay? Most people, when they compare, this is how it goes. Let's say that, I'm most people. And if I'm here and I compare myself to you, you're either going to be here or here, right? Usually you're going to either be above me in that way or below me in that way. Let's say it's physique, okay? Let's say I'm comparing my physique to your physique. You're either going to be less in shape or whatever, jacked, lean, whatever the thing is. You're going to be less of that than me or more. Okay? Most people, if I'm most people, I'm comparing myself to you, and you're above me, I'm going to compare in despair. I'm going to look at you, I'm going to say, he's so much more jacked than me, he's so much more lean than me, like, compare and despair. And it's that orphan mindset, that ego driven, that takes in, that says one of two routes. Either, I hate myself, like, why am I weak and like pathetic, or why can't I work hard, and why does he have better genetics, right? Or it's, I hate that he's better than me, I'm gonna work harder and be better than him. And a lot of the manhood gurus are like, yeah, you should do that. Yeah, you should get a little pissed off and try to overtake him. Those are two sides of the same coin. Insecurity either way, right? If I compare myself to you and you're more jacked than me, my insecurity says, I hate myself for being so weak compared to him. He must be like on steroids. He must have better genetics than me. Or, and maybe sometimes both, I hate that he's more jacked than I am. I'm going to work even harder and do even more, and I'm going to overtake him, right? Now, if I'm more jacked than you, okay, if I'm winning the comparison and I'm insecure, then I'm going to say, buddy, sucks to suck. Like, hey, talent doesn't meet hard work if talent doesn't work hard, right? Like, hey, I don't really have the best genetics. I just outworked you, right? I can give you some tips maybe, like on how to improve, but man, I earned this, right? That's insecurity again. It's arrogance instead of shame, right? We talked about this. Arrogance and shame, two wings on the same bird of pride. So that's basically how that works for the insecure person. So when you see a lot of times a pastor saying, everybody watch out for comparison, it's the thief of joy. They're quoting it like it's scripture, but it's not. Comparison is the thief of joy if you're an insecure weakling. Okay? It doesn't, if you're an insecure strong person, it doesn't take your joy. And I've been there, by the way. As we all have, right? We've all been in a situation where we're comparing ourselves to someone else and we're better off. That doesn't take your joy. No. You as a matter of fact, you're kind of like, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about myself being better off than this person, right? A lot of times, that's how we keep joy. That's like how we keep our fires going, is by comparing ourselves to people that are not as well off. There's like stories of that in the Bible. People doing that, right? The Pharisee, I think, Pharisee or Sadducee, and then like the tax collector, who are both at the temple praying, and the Pharisee is like, hey, glad I'm not like him. That's the only way he falls asleep at night, is by comparison, right? Glad I'm not like this sinner over here. Okay. That's the insecure way. But guys, you don't have to be insecure. That's the thing. So many of us are insecure. This pastor or guru or leader is telling you to avoid insecurity, or he's telling you to avoid comparison, because that's the only way he knows to keep from being insecure. That's the only way that he has found works for him. If I bury my head in the sand and I don't compare myself to others, I'll never feel how insecure I am. Yay! And I'll never reach my highest potential. And I'll never know what I'm capable of. Because here's the thing. Comparison is necessary not just for daily life, but it's necessary to bring out your fullest potential. It's necessary to know if other people are capable of it, maybe you are too, right? If you bury your head in the sand and you're like, oh, it's just me versus me, comparison is the thief of joy because my chubby, soft, effeminate pastor told me so. Okay, did he cite a verse for that? Or does it just make you feel good? Like, it's like the effeminate doctrine of the church. Like, tell the women that, right? Tell the women to stop comparing their beauty to each other. Fine. But masculinity is built off hierarchies. Masculinity is built off systems. Masculinity is built off dudes who are constantly fighting each other, even if they're on the same team. Apes together strong, right? It's not about, oh, he's better than me and that hurt my feelings. No, we're clashing together so we can both be better. If you and I are on the same team, I want to compare myself to you, and I want you compare yourself to me, so that whoever's better can help the other one get better. And whoever's worse off can fight and struggle and compete to take the better one's place. Because guess what that process is going to do? It's going to make us both stronger against the enemy. The Christianese nice guy psyop doesn't want your competitive dog to come out. They don't want to deal with your shame and pity parties. They don't want to deal with your aggression. And so they say, avoid the comparison trap. They don't want you to idolize something that you want bad. So they throw the baby out with the bathwater and tell you to avoid comparison. Watch out for comparison. And in the process of doing that, they keep you weak. They keep you soft. They keep you from reaching your highest possible potential. Roger Bannister, perfect example of a guy who won at this game. He didn't start it, but he opened the door for everybody else. So for those of you who don't know, Roger Bannister was the first person in recorded history to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Okay, this was in 1954. This became an official thing. Early 1950s. British guy, Roger Bannister. It's the year 1954. Humanity has been in existence for thousands and thousands of years. And not one time had anybody ran, on record, a mile in under 4 minutes. Scientists of the day thought it was impossible. They thought there was no way it could happen. Physically not possible for a human to do. That was the leading opinion of the day. But then Roger Bannister did it. Bravo. Bravo, old chap. The Brit proved everybody wrong, right? But here's the thing. The message of today would be, oh, that's his journey. Oh, Roger, he's kind of a freak. He's special. God made him different. Don't compare yourself to him, Just run your race. It's you versus you. Hey, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to Roger, You just focus on what the Lord has put in front of you. Okay? Okay. No. Roger was the first, but he has not been the only. Very quickly after Roger Bannister broke that record and ran a sub 4 minute mile, very shortly after, people looked and they said, oh, it is possible. I can do this. And you know why? Because they looked at Roger and they compared and they said, oh, they've said that this is not possible, but he just did it. So maybe if he did it, I can do it too. Maybe if it was possible for him, it'll be possible for me. They had to compare themselves to him to get there. And that's what a secure person does. Catch this. A secure person will compare themselves to somebody that's better off, and instead of despairing, they will get inspired. Instead of saying, oh, poor pitiful me, he must be using drugs, or he has no life, or he has great genetics, or he's obsessed with that, I can't afford to sacrifice my life like he can. Instead of all that nonsense, a secure person says, what did Roger Bannister do that I didn't do? How can I learn from Roger Bannister to do better? And then they start studying. And then they start to wonder, have I been leaving something on the table and not giving it my full effort because maybe I don't think it's possible? Have I been holding myself back subconsciously because I didn't know it was achievable to run a mile in under 4 minutes? Because Roger just did it. Okay, maybe I can do it too. And then they started working harder. And now, if you run a sub 4 minute mile, nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. 70 years later, it's like, oh, cool. That's impressive. Good for you. It's not a world record no more. I say nobody cares. It's a big deal, guys. That's a really, really, really good mile. But it's way more common than it is now. Why? Well, if Roger was the only one who did it, it wouldn't be common. It would still be a crazy thing. The reason it's common is not because Roger did it. It's because people compared themselves to him and said, you know what? If Roger can do it, that means humans could do it. That means maybe I can do it. Right? Now I get it. Comparison's not easy. When we're in a bad headspace, when we're in an insecure headspace, comparison to somebody can tempt us to either feel arrogant, like we're literally better than them, like as a human, which is messed up, or it can tempt us to feel like a piece of crap, like, woe is me, I suck, the Lord loves other people more than me, all these nonsensical, insecure things. And I agree that we should avoid those things. We should avoid feeling either of those ways, but the answer is not to throw the baby out with the bathwater and avoid comparison. Absolutely not. You want to throw comparison out the door? You're throwing your capacity for masculine strength out the door. You're throwing your potential out the door. You're throwing the iron sharpening iron capacity of masculine community. You're throwing that out the door too. Okay? And we can see the results of this from the people who preach this stuff, right? We can see the psyop taking place in the circles that teach this garbage, right? Don't compare and despair. Compare and realize, hey, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. Or if you're ahead of the guy, say, hey, just because I have something he doesn't mean I'm better than him. How can I help him? How can I pull him up? How can I make us all better together? That's what a secure man does when he compares. And guys, I've been on all sides of it. I've been above, I've been below. I've been insecure, I've been secure. I've been pride, I've been humble, right? I've done it all. Some of it even recently. I've been on a bad side of it recently where I'm comparing and despairing. I'm like, oh, like I've worked so hard, I'm only getting this much done. And why is it that this guy who's full of crap is getting all this like results, and why am I only struggling like with these little things, but I have so much more to give, and blah, 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 blah. That's me being a little baby. That's me being a little wimp, little insecure wuss. That's me complaining and crying like a baby, dude. It's not being a man. I got to repent of that too. I got to say, Lord, thank you for showing me what could be. Thank you for showing me what somebody else is capable of, what another human is capable of. Thank you for showing me something that I can maybe learn from. If he can do it, maybe I can do it. And maybe you can do it too. Comparison is not a trap unless you're insecure. Start comparing. Don't be afraid of it, guys. This has been For the Boys, episode 19. If you're like me and you've struggled with comparison, but you want to have a healthy relationship to your masculine drive, the ambition within you, if you've been suppressing that because you're afraid of the evil it might cause, because you don't want to compare and despair, because you don't want to be arrogant, you don't want to be prideful, you don't want to be too much or too whatever, you've been suppressing it, I can relate to that. You can book a free call with me down below. We can talk about it. I won't give you a sales pitch. Okay. I love what I do. Hopefully you guys can see that. But regardless, at the time of filming this, I think we're at 299 subscribers. We're right on the cusp of 300. So I'm going to go ahead and celebrate. We hit 300, baby. I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't subscribed, come on, baby. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this topic. I'll see you next time. Take care.